Great. To begin the interview, to begin with the beginning, I wanted to ask you how it all started. How did you get into art? How did it art to you? Was there an epiphany?
I mean, as a kid,
Yeah.
yeah, like, I don't know, like, there are uh, two things that I could say. The first is that actually I read not a lot of time ago that art making is the recapitulation of our earliest activities. And as a matter of fact, when I was a kid, I was lip syncing Bon Jovi and Prince in my room. That's exactly what I'm still doing. And I was also inventing games, and I'm keep inventing games. So somehow I see me making art, or what we call contemporary art, like a continuation of what I was doing as a kid. And related to the epiphany, I mean, I remember like when I was like 9 years ago, no, last time maybe like 7 years ago, I was working for some curators, and I was going through all the books that they had in their library, and I was looking at this beautiful book that was 100 Things that certainly are not art, and was a book made by Cesare Pietraiusti. And for me, it was kind of epiphany because I saw that book and said, "Wow, this is amazing. This is what I would love to do in my life," and that's what I try to do since that moment, I guess. Yeah.
And where would you say were your heroes, or who were your heroes? Who were your inspirations?
Whoa, this is a hard question. I mean, for sure, as an artist, I would say like my hero is Gianni Motti, the Swiss artist. I'm really totally into his work. It's a very simple work. It's super funny, and it's something that I really admire. And but from other point of view, I would say Prince. Prince has been, I think, one of the greatest artists of our century. Like all his albums from the '80s and his movies, like Purple Rain, is incredible. It's an amazing movie, and then still I love music, and I would say also a lot of bands that I really loved and I was really inspired by somehow. And I don't know, that's a tough question. I'm sure that if you ask me in another moment, I would tell you some other references, but I'm sure that Gianni Motti and Prince, and they are for sure two persons that I really really admire.
And where would you say does your catalog resonance start? When did you do for the first time a work where you felt this is, no longer student work, this is your first mature work which you would put in the catalog resume?
Whoa. I mean, like I always think that the first work that I made in 2009.
Which piece? Can you tell me which
Oh
piece
yeah,
it is?
that was Syria è veramente una cantante di merda. It's the first work that I made, and I think it's probably still one of the best work I ever made, and was probably the first work I ever made. And it was basically a performance in which I did not talk about, I didn't say anything bad about anybody for 3 months, and then I wrote all the things down. But then in the end, I made this installation where I put all the papers with the writings into one room. But right now, what I would change about that work, that still the idea is great, is that I will make a performance. So I would tell all these things in one shot. So all these things, bad things that I said about people for 3 months, I would just say it in a couple of hours instead of making these papers and writing them down. And that work actually was inspired by Yoko Ono and her cleaning piece. And cleaning piece was a suggestion by Yoko Ono on an A4 paper, and it was saying, try not to say something bad about anybody for 45 days, 90 days, 3 months, 1 year. So I just use that and use it as a performance, I guess. Yeah.